the Brave. In a quiet corner of the countryside stood an old red barn, weathered by wind and time. Within its warm wooden walls lived a small mouse named Pip. He was the youngest of 8 siblings and certainly the smallest. But Pip didn't mind. What he lacked in size, he made up for with something far more powerful courage. Every evening after supper, the mice would gather around Grandfather Whiskers as he told stories of brave mouse warriors, cheese raids on towering kitchen counters, and escapes from hungry cats. Pip would sit with wide eyes, dreaming of the day he might live a story worth telling. One autumn morning, as the sun spilled golden light across the haystacks, Pip overheard 2 field mice whispering about the great cheese wheel hidden in the farmhouse kitchen. They say it's as big as a cartwheel, one mouse said, with a smell strong enough to knock you over, the other added. Pip's eyes sparkled. I am going to find it, he said aloud. His brothers burst into laughter. You can barely lift a walnut. But Pip stood tall. I may be small, but I have big dreams. With a pouch made from an old sock, a toothpick for defense, and a dried blueberry for energy, Pip set off on his grand adventure. Pip scampered through the grass, each blade towering over him like a tree. He kept low, alert for signs of danger. Birds soared overhead, and once the ground trembled as a dog barked in the distance. He reached the edge of the garden and paused. Before him lay a vast stretch of tilled earth, crisscrossed with roots and pebbles. It was unfamiliar and wide open, a dangerous path for a tiny mouse. Just then he heard a flutter. A hawk swooped low, its shadow passing over Pip. He dove under a dandelion just in time. His heart raced, but he whispered, Not today, and moved on. As dusk approached, Pip found refuge in a forgotten garden shed. Inside, he discovered a tangle of string, an old thimble, and a cracked mirror. To Pip, it was a treasure. He placed the thimble on his head like a helmet. In the mirror, he saw not a small mouse, but a warrior on a quest. While exploring, he stumbled upon a cricket with a bent leg. Need help? Pip asked. I slipped between boards, the cricket replied. Pip chewed through a vine and fashioned a tiny crutch. The cricket hopped in amazement. You're a brave little thing. If you're heading to the farmhouse, take the tunnel beneath the roots. It will lead you straight to the kitchen wall. Thank you, Pip said, and the cricket waved him off with a chip of luck. The tunnel led Pip straight to a crack in the wall. He peeked out. The farmer's kitchen was massive. Shiny pots dangled above, and the smell of garlic and cheese filled the air. But Pip's eyes were fixed on the counter. There it was, the great cheese wheel glowing under a light like treasure in a cave. He spotted a tea towel hanging from the oven handle, nearly touching the floor. Like a daring climber, Pip scampered up the towel and reached the counter. But just as he reached the cheese, a terrifying sound frozen him. The family cat. Pip ducked behind a butter dish as the feline padded silently into the room. Its eyes scanned the counters, whiskers twitching. Sweat dripped from Pip's brow. He waited, heart pounding, until the cat jumped down and wandered off, tail flicking lazily. Wasting no time, Pip darted forward and gnawed a small chunk from the cheese. It was delicious, sharp and tangy, just as the legend said. He wrapped it in his pouch and made his way back down the towel, but halfway down it tore. Pip fell into the sink, landing in a puddle of dishwater. He gasped, but before he could climb out, he heard a voice.
You okay, little fellow?
Pip turned to see a beetle with a shiny back and gentle eyes.
I am Max,
said the beetle.
Let me give you a lift.
Max carried Pip on his back and climbed up the pocket, out of the sink, and down the side of the cabinet. You're a hero, Max, Pip cried.
Only helping another brave soul,
Max replied, and they parted ways. By moonlight, Pip retraced his steps, sneaking past sleeping cats, hopping over puddles, and ducking under fences. As the first rays of dawn peeked over the hills, Pip dragged his cheese pouch back into the barn. He was soaked, scratched, and exhausted, but grinning. His family gasped. You made it! You really found it! Pip held up the cheese like a crown,
A gift for all of us.
they squeaked with joy, gathering around. That night, the mice feasted on the cheese, singing songs of Pip the Brave. Grandfather Whiskers smiled.
Looks like we have got a new tale to tell.
Pip curled up beside him, the cheers of his family warming his heart. And from that day on, whenever a mouse doubted their strength or feared the unknown, they would remember the story of the tiniest mouse who chased a dream and returned a hero. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe.